Julian, thanks for joining us on HTTV. It's the first time we've actually spoken to you properly on video since your appointment at the club back in March. So I'm going to start with a very obvious question, but what was it about the job at Huddersfield Town that first appealed to you when you saw it was, or you became known it was available? Obviously a club that's known well to you, but you were at another good club at the time in Notts County.
Sure, well, multifaceted answer to that, if I can say the word. Obviously, there's a connection to me in the sense of having been born in Huddersfield, played for Huddersfield. But the reality of the world that we're in is that isn't any good reason for going back to a football club. The reason for going back to a football club is I think I'm coming to a club that has a tremendous platform. So it's confirmed its championship status on a couple of seasons. It's done okay, I think, in a very, very, very competitive division, and there's now this perspective on life that Huddersfield has to sort of reinvent its platform. So to look at how do we take the football club forward to improve its circumstances in probably the most competitive league in the country. So that's the attraction. So the attraction of having an owner very clear about what he's doing, a very active football club in business terms, we're very strong. And a change of perspective in football terms. So David and Christoph's ability to create that football identity that we've all seen, me latterly, you have seen since he arrived back in November, I think it was. So there's something here. There's something really to build on, and that's the main attraction.
You obviously had a perception from outside of Huddersfield Town under Dean Hoyle, and I'm sure within the industry there's a perception too. You've had a good period, I suppose, of 3 months to kind of assess that from the inside now. Have there been any big surprises to you, or any major plus points, or anything that you don't think is quite where you expected it to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to look from the outside in, and you never really get the full picture. You only get the full picture when you're in, and you're actually living and breathing it, which I've been doing for a couple of months, which has been excellent. What I would say is, as a core group of staff here, we have a really excellent group of people. What I've been working on with the board is more about that long-term direction of travel, or short, medium, long-term direction of travel, and about how we improve things, how we become more competitive in that championship. We've talked about, surviving for a couple of years is a good thing. Now it's how do we thrive? I think we're adapting some things internally, as you're aware of, and will become clearer to fans in terms of the structure of the football club, the report lines of specific departments into director level individuals, and we'll start to articulate, I think, a lot clearer about what that actually means to improving things on a day-to-day basis. So, my main assessment of where we are is we're a very active and productive club, but I think we need to be a bit smarter in lots of different areas.
I think there's you only ever hear about this kind of side of football when things go wrong at clubs. So when clubs are in financial turmoil, or things go wrong, or they get relegated, there's always an eye cast by fans on the non-football side of football clubs. It's worth saying that everything that you've just talked about here, the structure and things that are going on behind the scenes, everything is done here with the aim of ultimately making the team on the pitch better, isn't it?
Oh, there's absolutely a view here, and I think we're getting better at that as well, because we are here to put a football team on the field that everybody enjoys. We want success, we want to win football matches, and we want to do that as a sense of a collective, players, staff, fans, to feel that there's something going on that we can all identify with. So everybody that works here, whether you're the laundry lady or whether you're the communications guy, there's a real feel that we're all feeding to something that's at the current position is in a really good position, quite positive. We've got to make it a lot more positive, and that will only come through our actions through the summer, and then as we kick off into the start of a new season and build that momentum.
I'm sure that's a big question, and there's a lot of good feel around the club and the fans for everything that happened last season going into next. But we've had 4 seasons in the Championship now, and I think we're relatively well established in this division. But every season we've been roughly in the same area of the table. Huddersfield Town, everyone knows, isn't the biggest club in the Championship. Can it be better than it is now, in your opinion?
No, it absolutely can, and I think it is about doing some things differently. So I think the changes that have happened at the football club, with obviously managerial change, changes of CEO, changes across the academy. There are changes happening. Clubs that are frightened of change tend to pretty much stick where they are. Dean has been very clear about the need to improve things, and those changes that have happened are for a reason. So the expectation level, from my point of view, from Dean's point of view, from the board's point of view, from the manager's point of view, expectation is raised. Now, it's a simple thing to say, it's a difficult thing to do, but I think in some of our actions, in changes of personnel, and then looking around what we're doing in recruitment terms and how we've built a particularly strong squad last season, and historically before that we've done pretty well with player trading. But I think the actions since May, players arriving that we fully expect to raise the bar in terms of the quality of footballer entering our football club.